Floyd Mayweather's decision to take on John Gotti 3 in a rematch has stirred quite the controversy among boxing professionals and fans alike. For a fighter like Mayweather, who once stood as an undefeated champion and one of the greatest of all time, stepping into the ring with the grandson of a notorious crime boss doesn't exactly seem like a career highlight. But as many experts in the game have pointed out, this is not about boxing skill or legacy. This is about money and entertainment. However, even with these motivations, there's still a clear consensus on who the winner will likely be. Mike Tyson, who has had his share of exhibition fights, recognizes what Mayweather is doing, even if it's not the kind of boxing that built his reputation. Floyd's been doing this money thing for a while now, Tyson said. Look, he's got a hustle, right? I respect that. I think the first time how me and Floyd got together to fight was fate. And I think this time is fate too, you know. We weren't supposed to have this fight again, but one thing led to another. Tyson understands Mayweather's strategy because, after all, boxing is not just a sport, it's a business. Mayweather mastered the art of promoting himself, and in today's world, it's about keeping people talking. The rematch with John Gotti 3 is more about creating a big event than challenging himself against top competition. Tyson respects the hustle, but is clear-eyed about what's really going on. Floyd knows he's not going to lose to this guy, Tyson said, but I ain't really watching boxing. If you ask me who's winning, come on, Floyd's winning. Gotti 3 ain't a real challenge, but people love a show. The chaotic end to their first fight, where an all-out brawl broke out in the ring, only adds to the circus-like atmosphere surrounding the rematch. Tyson, a man who has been involved in his fair share of fights that transcended the sport, understands that people are tuning in for the drama, not the competition. Mayweather remains a master of controlling the narrative. He knows how to get people talking, even when the fight itself isn't competitive. In Tyson's eyes, this is far from the kind of battle that made Mayweather the legend he is today. It's about keeping his name in the spotlight and cashing in on his global fame. The fight's outcome is already predictable to Tyson. Mayweather wins, and the show moves on. However, not everyone sees this fight in the same light. Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather's longtime rival, has voiced his concerns, seeing things differently. Known for his career full of tough battles and his desire to fight the best, Pacquiao's criticism comes from a place of genuine concern for boxing's reputation. Mayweather, he just wants to make more money. I understand that, Pacquiao said. But I think it's not good for boxing's reputation. Fighting Gotti 3, who is not a real professional boxer like us, is just for entertainment. Floyd will win easily, but I think this fight doesn't help the sport. It only helps him. Pacquiao, who has always taken pride in facing top-tier opponents, sees Mayweather's exhibitions as diluting the sport he loves. While Pacquiao has certainly made his money in boxing, he always prioritized legacy over profit. His fights against elite opponents like Juan Manuel Marquez, Timothy Bradley, and even Mayweather himself were about proving his skills and maintaining his place as one of the sport's best. For Pacquiao, the idea of fighting someone like Gotti 3, who has little to no chance of actually winning, is not what boxing is supposed to be about. But Pacquiao isn't blind to Mayweather's motivations. The fight is more of a business decision than a competitive one. Mayweather is making money without taking any real risks. The problem, as Pacquiao sees it, is that it drags boxing down with it. To him, the rematch doesn't elevate the sport or push it forward. Instead, it turns boxing into a sideshow where entertainment trumps skill. I've been motivated. I've been training the whole entire year since the last fight ended, Pacquiao might say. There's an underlying frustration in his words, even if he doesn't state it outright. But not everyone is against this. Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest names in boxing today, has a unique take on Floyd Mayweather's recent exhibitions. While some criticize Mayweather for turning boxing into a spectacle, Canelo sees it differently. Having fought Mayweather himself back in 2013, Canelo understands the grind and dedication it took for Floyd to reach his level. "Look, Mayweather worked hard to get where he is," Canelo said. "If he wants to do 100 exhibitions and make millions, that's his right, he earned it." Canelo's own path in boxing mirrors some of Mayweather's moves. After years of taking on elite fighters like Gennady Golovkin and Dmitry Bivol, Alvarez now commands massive paydays, even asking for $200 million for future fights. He knows firsthand the value of building a brand that can generate this kind of money, and it's why he doesn't see anything wrong with Mayweather cashing in on exhibition bouts. "He's at a point where he doesn't need to prove anything," Canelo added. "Floyd's legacy is set, and if these exhibitions make him happy and keep him in the spotlight, then who are we to judge?" From Canelo's perspective, Mayweather's exhibitions with opponents like Gotti 3 may not be traditional boxing matches, but they still serve a purpose. They entertain, they generate talk, and they continue to bring Mayweather attention, which Canelo can relate to as a businessman in the sport. But maybe not everyone sees this the same way. One voice that recently added to the conversation was Roy Jones Jr. For Roy, it's clear that Mayweather is no longer pursuing challenges inside the ring, but is instead leveraging his brand to stay in the limelight. "I get it, Floyd's living off the hype, and he can still make big money without risking his legacy. That's smart. But Gotti 3? It's like watching a show, not a fight," Jones said, making his feelings known. Having watched Mayweather dominate the sport for years, Roy Jones Jr. respects Floyd's ability to keep himself relevant in the boxing world long after his retirement from competitive fights. However, he points out that the level of competition Floyd is choosing to face no longer reflects the high standards that fans have come to expect. Gotti 3, despite his lineage, is nowhere near Floyd's skill level, and Jones sees the rematch as a mismatch from the outset. "I'm all for staying relevant, but the competition level, it's not there," Roy added. To him, the fight is simply a means for Mayweather to continue cashing in on his name and reputation without putting anything on the line. Jones, who has always been known for taking risks and pushing himself to the limit in the ring, feels that Floyd has chosen the safer route by engaging in exhibition fights against less experienced opponents. Mayweather's decision to fight Gotti 3 may generate headlines and draw a crowd, but for Roy, it lacks the excitement of a true contest. "Floyd's gonna win, it's not even close," Jones predicted. Like many others, he doesn't see Gotti 3 as a real challenge for Mayweather, who remains in excellent physical condition even in his mid-40s. For Roy, this fight isn't about proving anything. Mayweather is simply milking the brand, as he put it. But while Jones understands the financial appeal, he yearns for the days when Mayweather was at the peak of his powers, taking on the best fighters in the world. Sugar Ray Leonard, another legend of the sport, takes a similar view to Roy Jones Jr. regarding Mayweather's rematch with John Gotti 3. Leonard, known for his artistry in the ring and his ability to deliver